K. I got David Oldemere with 3D Politics every Monday at 7 o'clock. Don't you miss it. And we're moving on to Representative Jason Lowe's district. This has to do with constitutional carry. Looks like News Now, OKC, had a video rolling while conducting an audit of the First and Second Amendments. Those rights in central Oklahoma City on Saturday. Among the locations they traversed was a faith community, which was meeting during their Sabbath. I'm going to ask you guys for a minute, but it sounds like they just walked into a church with a gun. We'll find out. Publisher Tim Harper sought a discourse with the worshipers. Hey, guys, let's talk about guns. Something about a recent traffic stop in which an individual refused to acknowledge municipal police authority. Wanted a sheriff instead of the regular, and something about a black Hebrew Israelite group.
That's who they were. That was the group meeting on their Sabbath. It was some black Hebrew Israelites, or at least they identified themselves as such. And so there was somebody standing outside the door of their, kind of a storefront worship center.
Oklahoma City.
Yes, and at near 23rd and Martin Luther King Drive. And Jason Lowe, who actually was the black lawmaker and attorney who fought tooth and nail in which way he could to stop this law from going into effect. And
it's his district.
Right, yeah. So Tim Harper, who we've talked about before, when he does what he calls First and Second Amendment audits, his audits doesn't mean he gets out pencil and paper and adding a sheet. It means he goes out and sees if his rights are actually going to be respected in public and by police and by communities.
So News Now OKC is Tim Harper.
That is his outlet, yes. Right. And so, sure enough, he and a couple other guys, Adrian Otap, who's a friend of ours from OTU, was along rolling film and our video. And sure enough, they come up there and they wouldn't let him inside the temple. They said, hey, you need to get off the property. So he stepped back about 20 feet to the sidewalk because it was a storefront with parking, right up against the building. And sure enough, within about 3 minutes, holy smokes, about 8 squad cars show up.
They did.
And everybody remained calm. Everybody remained polite. Everybody remained very much respectful.
Mostly. There was a few choice words from the police officer who was handling the issue.
Well, it does say here from Sooner Politics, the worshipers, all men, told Harper to leave the property, and Harper promptly complied.
Yes.
Several municipal police responded to the scene and stayed present while a determination was made as to where the public right-of-way ends and the private property begins.
Yeah, because here's the thing. The cops will record that they notified you that you've been told, do not trespass again. And in doing that, they have to clearly delineate where that property line is.
Right.
And they went to great pains to say, you see that crack where the pavement is kind of shifted in that's between the old slab of their driveway parking and where the sidewalk used to be that they just paved over the whole thing.
It's like that episode of Ace Ventura.
Yeah, exactly. and so everything went fine. Here's my question. Suppose it was, that we flip it around and a bunch of folks from this district here, Jason Lowe and some of his buddies, or let's just say it's some guys from the hood, decide they're going to come down to or go up to Nichols Hills and go walk in the streets. What would you guess some of the fine ladies of the Bridge Club to react?
I think we would find out who's racist.
Yes, we would. And so, my suggestion is, Tim, you've got a lot of friends of all different colors and shades of beige. I'd say get yourself a posse that is a good cross-section and do this some more.
Well, actually, I think he had somebody that was black with him.
You had an Asian guy, Adrian Otap.
No, there was another guy in some of the pictures that was.
they met up with a couple of homeless guys 3 blocks down. In fact, Tim Harper gave some money to one of the homeless guys.
Yeah, no, but there was something else, and I thought that he was part of the crew that went there, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, it should not matter if we are Americans, all of us Americans, free Americans. Then there's no place for the whole racist thing.
Yeah.
We should be. I mean, that's part of what we should be auditing is how well we get along with each other.
And that's probably one of the best things. Do you recall a group called Oath Keepers, Oldham?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Oath Keepers. There's a lot of former military, and there's law enforcement that join it, and they allow other people too. But it was really started by them, and they're really focused on protecting our constitutional rights. That's why they're called Oath Keepers. Their oath is to defend the Constitution. Well, the Oath Keepers in Missouri showed up in Ferguson during the race riots going on there, and ended up busting up Oath Keepers because the local people in Missouri said what these black mom and pop shop owners need because of the looting and the vandalism is they need the right to defend their own property, much like the South Central LA during the Rodney King riots, right?
So forth, right?
Koreans, yeah, and
famous pictures.
and so, sure enough, they were trying to mentor these shopkeepers and business people on here's how you get your own gun. Because it was just, what? We can have guns?
Seems democratic.
This is the problem, folks.
What was I thinking?
The black community largely is more alien to the idea of Second Amendment constitutional rights.
Right. Well, protections. Right?
Yeah.
Protections.
Yes.
Because our rights exist and they predate our government.
Right.
That was the founding philosophy that our founders codified by the Constitution.
Yeah.
And so there are protections there that unfortunately people don't realize are there.
Let's get out of this Jason Lowe story.
But let me finish.
Okay.
What happened with the Oath Keepers is the Missouri Oath Keepers split from the National Oath Keepers group because the national group said this is terrible for fundraising. The optics of that we're going to arm a bunch more black folk with guns. And that's a problem. If that's why I'm not part of Oath Keepers.
Live by optics, die by optics.
Yeah.
The bottom line here that I think is important about this Jason Lowe story is that the neighboring businesses, it's reported here on Super Politics, they expressed their displeasure with Tim Harper.
Yes,
they were in solidarity with the religious group that is neighboring their businesses there. And so while Jason Lowe may have been in the right, it seems like he was causing some.
Yeah,
you mean Tim Harper?
Tim,
Tim Harper. So
The big thing that we need to remember and keep pounding home is Jason Lowe has violated his oath of office.